All right, welcome in. Happy Saturday. It's Wager Talk's last call here, and we got a loaded weekend. We've got a loaded slate of guests as well here. Of course, Gianni will be here in just a second, getting you all caught up with what's going on across the board here today. The Prez will be by. Red Hot Prez will be by as well. The man just refuses to lose, so we'll hear what he has to say. Teddy covers. We'll be talking some NBA. And, of course, our good man, Mr. UFC Kyle, will be on to talk about a couple of fights that he likes. And so we got a loaded show for you on a Saturday. Welcome in, and no better way to start than bringing our man VR on here. Gianni, ready to roll, hanging out on the East Coast because, well, somebody doesn't like you, Gianni. They sent you to Newark. So, but you got a lot going on here today across the board. A little something for everyone, even a little WNBA action now, huh? That's back in full effect, Gianni.
Yeah, and I haven't yet gotten involved as far as releasing a premium, but I'm really excited about the WNBA because there's so much profit to be had while everyone's focused their attention elsewhere. In fact, I finished number one in profit last year in WNBA, and right now, the only stuff that we've been doing with this early WNBA is live betting. So I provided a couple accounts for a group that does WNBA, but so far they've only been messing with the live betting, and they've been profitable. I mean, the accounts are up this week. And WNBA is one of those sports that is beatable. Personally, I need some more data to feel confident in what I confirm as premium when I start seeing plays get fired into the account. But for sure, don't overlook the WNBA because the perfect example of how beatable it is simply look at the line moves. We're now in the regular season, and you're seeing such huge line moves even without players out. And what I mean is, if you look at today's board, every one of those games has moved 2 or more points. That is the perfect example of an inefficient betting market where you're getting sides moving 2+ points, and it's not injury related, suspension related, or anything like that. It's simply the sharp betting syndicates seeing value in the lines that the books are putting out. And that's why you see the limits are so low right now in WNBA, because it is sharps versus the books. The public's not really getting involved. I mean, unless Caitlin Clark's playing and there's nothing else on and it's on ESPN, then that WNBA game may get some action. But otherwise, it's simply wise guys versus the books, and they're taking zero chances. As soon as a limit bet comes in, they're moving these lines significantly. So as a bettor, what you can take from that is look at the market to help you confirm. The flip side of that coin is once you get confirmation, it's usually too late, meaning you can be certain that it's not public money moving the line, that it is a short play, but now all of a sudden you're not looking at -3.5, you're looking at -5.5, and that's a much different bet. So I urge bettors that if you are going to be betting WNBA, make sure you focus on acquiring outs. Don't just bet into the DraftKings, the Caesars, the MGMs, those big books that all have the same static line. You need to get a little bit creative and find some paperheads, find some offshores where you may be able to get some lines to shops, because that's the key. You know, when it comes to WNBA, those lines are going to move quick. And I just talked way too long on WNBA, but it just goes to show you, wherever there's money, that's what you should be focused on. And right now, with all the attention on NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL playoffs, rest assured, there's some money to be had in WNBA.
To your point, Gianni, we do a show with our good friend Art DeCesar each day during the week, and he had said it. He said, "Listen, if I come out here and tell you I am seeing action on a WNBA game, it is not the public. If the words come out of my mouth, he's like, it is not the public betting WNBA. And look at the line moves, 3.5, 4 points already from the overnight. The public is not waiting to get the jump
without
on the Indiana Fever.
Without having to see it in the account, I can tell the viewers right now, Atlanta -3 is a great bet.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas +6 or better is a great bet. Yep. And those two I would feel very confident in.
Don't even need to know.
Over Chicago, Portland at over, maybe 159, 160 at the highest.
So funny, though. Yes, it is. WNBA is back, and they got more money. So this should be even a worse product than it was prior. Let's talk about the NBA here, Gianni. 2 more games here today. Both of these teams, home teams, down 0-2. What are you seeing action-wise here so far? Anything overnight?
Wasn't surprised to see the sharp bettors come out on Cleveland immediately because they've been getting out ahead of the market very well throughout these playoffs. Not always keeping the position, but having a good bet in their pocket. And here's what I mean. I'm seeing this over and over and over again. I saw it yesterday in that Minnesota game where they're betting Cleveland -2.5. But then before tip-off, they're coming in and taking Detroit +5.5 if they can get it. Most times it's more on the late action than the early action, but sometimes it's simply a middle attempt and nothing more. And the reason is simple. It's late in the season. You expect the lines to be tight. Tight lines mean higher probability that the game lands near the line. So if you got closing line value, the chances of hitting a middle increase greatly. So they're in a good position there. Number 2, they know they got a good bet in their pocket with that closing line value because they're kind of short of what the public's going to do. The public's not tying up their money until game day. These lines have been up since they went final in game 2. So they know Cleveland's down 2-0. They know they're probably going to be the popular side in game 3. So they lay 2.5 as soon as that line goes up after the final of game 2. And today, when recreational bettors are laying 3.5, 4.5, forgive me, on Cleveland, again, that puts them in a great position. They could keep the Cleveland bet, or if they really like the Pistons, if that was the original side they really like, now all of a sudden they're going to be able to get +5 on the Pistons instead of having to lock them in at +2.5. Again, if you can do it, why wouldn't you? So you're seeing sharp money on Detroit. You're also seeing sharp money on the over. Now, the public's betting this total a little bit more on, not more on the under, but it's not heavy over. Usually I see a bias towards the over, but in this series, that hasn't been the case. So it's closer to 50-50, whether they're taking the over or the under, but they're tying it either parlays, teasers with the Cleveland Cavaliers side. Thunder Lakers, again, 2-0 down, but this is different. Here they're betting the Thunder to go up 3-0. Forgive me. They're betting the Thunder to go up 3-0, and they're also betting the over. The Sharps on the over and the public's on the over. So that's going to give the book some risk. I'm surprised they're not up to like 212.5 already because of that, which is, kind of sticks out a little bit because it is one-sided. Again, I did see the over in the accounts, and I am seeing the public betting this over as well. So in conclusion, you have the public and the Sharps on Detroit and the over, but the public's liking the under in the Detroit game. And then in the Lakers Thunder, nothing on the side, but I do see both public and the Sharps on the over in that series, in that game, forgive me.
A trend that it's not a shock with the NBA, Gianni, and I'm wondering what you have seen from the Sharp side here. The injury news we have seen just on Embiid alone. When he was ruled out, we saw it move 3.5 points. Then all of a sudden, when he was ruled in yesterday, we saw it move 3.5 points, right? Philly all of a sudden got all the money. Yep. What have the Sharps been doing with this injury news? These either late scratches or this guy's in. Are they waiting until the public runs to the window and then hammering the other way? Or how are they approaching it?
They're the guys that are at the top of the food chain. They're getting that information in real time with the odds makers and are beating them to the punch. Yep. And many times. But with that said, not everyone can do that. And there's a lot of sharp bettors out there. Those guys are waiting to take advantage of the public's overreaction. Like yesterday, right before tip-off, I saw a lot of steam come in on the Knicks side. So throughout the day, you were seeing the Philly line climb. And then that's when, right before tip-off, you saw that late confirmation come in of sharp money on the Knicks. And again, it's the difference between betting numbers and betting teams. They're strictly looking at what the number is. Recreational bettors, they're going to bet the team. They like the Knicks in game 3. They're going to bet the Knicks in game 3. Whether the Knicks are -2 or -3.5 isn't really that big of a deal if they're, decided to bet the Knicks. And that's, where a lot of these sharp bettors are able to take advantage, even in the playoffs, where at least realistically you would think, they're probably only dabbling with props, team totals, smaller market stuff. They're not really beating sides and totals because the line should be really sharp. But nothing could be further from the truth. It's 2026. Public money far outweighs sharp money in every single jurisdiction that books. That much I can promise you. So they're a lot less concerned about what the sharps are doing in the playoffs than what the public is doing in the playoffs. So the sharps, like you said, are able to take advantage of that with the injury information when they do get out ahead of it. And if you miss it, you simply wait for the public to overreact and think these players are worth more than in line than they are, and they'll create the value for you. Just be patient.
Well, you got the NHL also in playoff mode here. What's the trend so far that you've been seeing?
Well, Carolina. And luckily I got a future on Carolina and Buffalo. So what I need is for the West not to get it done. And right now, not really, unfortunately for me, but it is what it is. I kind of knew that going in. Power rating wise, I do have Carolina. Now, I'm a little biased, but I had Colorado coming into the playoffs. I now have Carolina as the number 1 team. No surprise. Why I bring that up is because Carolina, even though they're up 3-0, Philly do or die, it doesn't really matter. They're betting Carolina today. The Sharps got out and laid -175 on Carolina, expecting that the public was going to be on them. And here's what you got to remember. These teams that are up 3-0, especially in this round, they've done well. More times than not, they close it out. Close to 6 out of 10 times in these first 2 rounds, they close it out. Because you got to remember, in these early rounds, they're playing 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7. Like the cream, the teams are a lot, the parity isn't there that you get later in the playoffs. And that's why bettors, they'll bet that the sweep's going to happen. And that's what they're doing here. They're betting Carolina and they're betting Colorado. And Sharps got out ahead by laying 175. I saw -175 in the accounts on Carolina, and I saw -120 in the accounts on Colorado. I haven't released anything to subscribers. I do have a 5% in NHL game 4. Is it tomorrow? Game 4 tomorrow. Vegas, Anaheim. I land in Vegas tomorrow afternoon. Thank God for the 3-hour time back. So I will be going to that game, and I have a 5%. I've already confirmed I love that game 4 tomorrow. So I probably won't be getting involved in today's playoffs, but I can share, like I'll talk about in the steam room, who I like. But I can tell you the Sharps are on Carolina and they're on Colorado. And same thing the public's on. They're betting both those teams to Carolina to finish it and Colorado to go up 3-0. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought they'd give Minnesota some love today from the public because, Minnesota I thought was a lot closer to Colorado than like Philly was to Carolina, but just not the case. They're betting both favorites.
Yeah, still a lot of hockey to go for sure, though. But that's what happens when you have the best teams play early in the NHL playoffs against one another. You might have some mismatches down the stretch here. Don't forget, guys, hit that like button, subscribe button. Yanni in the steam room. That's coming up when, Yanni? A little bit later today?
Yeah, yes, sir. And even though I'm out here in Newark, I got to keep it real. That's where I'm accountable to my subscribers. Not only are they teaming up for me for the year, but I come in and week out, go over our results, go over our game plan, and more importantly, help each other, stay in line. Because when you're running cold, you got to focus. When you're running hot, you also got to focus as well. And that's the beauty of the steam room. Because right now, over the last 7 days, I'm down units, but zoom out a little bit over the last 30 days, I'm up over 40 units. And that's the beautiful story. But we still got to focus on these last 7 days and talk money management. And I'm going to go over MLB, NHL, NBA, and more importantly, the UFC. I've been here for 3 days. Everyone was at the bar last night, in the hotel, outside partying, and I was up here in the room working. So I'm excited about the UFC card later today as well. I'll cover all of that in the Steam Room for subscribers. And yeah, good couple days ahead. Like I said, I got a 5% today in the UFC and a 5% coming in the NHL for tomorrow.
All right, so run down Major League Baseball. What have you seen so far for the folks? Anything overnight?
Yes, pay attention. I put a lot of work into this MLB that I'm going to read off because I don't have a Steam sheet today because I'll be at the event, and it's not fair to the people buying it because I won't be able to add more stuff to it. But this is the MLB you want to focus on. If you've just blindly bet all these, it's a lot of action. I'm very confident. I'd lay minus 150 that we'd be profitable when the dust settles. 901 over 8.5 Washington, Miami. 903 Colorado plus 165. 906 San Diego minus 120, minus 130. 908 Arizona plus 125, plus 120. Over 8.5 and over 9. 909 Pittsburgh minus 105. 912 they laid the Dodgers minus 125, minus 130 action, and then locked in Snell listed at minus 130. Told you I'm coming with detail. Pay attention to baseball. 914 Toronto minus 145, minus 155, over 7.5 and over 8. 916 Baltimore minus 110. 918 Boston minus 120, 135. 923 over 9 Detroit KC. 926 Cincinnati minus 130, 140. 927 Texas plus 130, 120. 930 Milwaukee plus 125. I just shared everything for Major League Baseball. Any premium you should get out of what I just shared. And I'll give you this as well. We bet 3 series plays in Major League Baseball before game 1 yesterday. We bet the Dodgers minus 130, Kansas City minus 125, Toronto minus 150. KC and Toronto I gave out as 4%. The Dodgers, I got the info 10 minutes before game time. We have a 15-minute window, so I couldn't share it. But we are on the Dodgers, KC, Toronto. All of those one game one. So pay attention today. If any of them lose game 2, then we will be cheering them in game 3. That's Dodgers, KC, Toronto. Best of luck today. Hope you guys do damage. I'll see subscribers in the Steam Room in about an hour. And again, enjoy the UFC tonight.
Enjoy that Newark food, Gianni. We'll see you again during the week, man. Be well. All right, Gianni, ready to roll, guys. Make sure you visit him over in the Steam Room coming up in about an hour. And, of course, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. As long as you're hanging out, you might as well do it anyway. And a big shout-out to the chat, Titan CT in the house. And I saw AOD in there, and I haven't had a chance to see it, Dan, but I'll be an SOB if there ain't some sort of reference to Detroit and 4 in that yeah, there it. All right, so I knew it, AOD. Right? Yeah, Pistons in 5. There you go. Perfect. I'm shocked you even gave them the benefit of the doubt there, AOD. Block, Garrett Williams, all about my Bills. Good to see you guys, man. Appreciate you hanging with us here on Last Call. Still plenty to go. Don't forget, Teddy Covers will be here. We'll talk and dive into those NBA games. Of course, Kyle Anthony will be here. He is going to break it down for you on this UFC 328 card. He's got 2 fights he loves. He's going to tell you all about them. But there's a lot of do you smell that? What is that? It smells like fire, Dan, because this next guy is absolutely on fire. Look at him. There he is, flexing and everything. The Prez in the house. The man refuses to lose. You stubborn bastard, Prez. You don't want to lose, do you, man? You got no interest in losing.
Well, I do lose every now and then, but yes, Joe, what a run. Are you kidding me? Ooh. And thanks. Dan Alexander points out that I look jacked. You know what? 57 years old in a couple of weeks, boys. Dude, man, I am 16-3 in the NHL playoffs, 16-3, and I have not lost an NHL total in the playoffs yet. Today, I go for 13 in a row. I am on a 12-0. Joe, is 12-0 a better run than 19-1? I mean, technically it is. Technically from percentage, but then 1-0 is better than 101 percentage-wise. So I ask, is a 19-1 NHL total run better than a 12-0 NHL total run? or the other way around?
It's a tough decision, Prez. It just depends if whether or not I was part of that one-loss run or the no-loss run. I think that would change my answer. But the reality is you refuse to lose. And by the way, you've been crushing it, not just NHL. The NBA has been amazing for you as well. So it's not just the NHL, but we just talked to Gianni. We've got I guess the beginning of the end for Philadelphia Flyer fans, right? This is all but over today, Prez. I mean, is there it's not gentleman's sweep
all
here,
but
no?
over.
Yeah,
all but over. And we'll take that apart real quick. But firstly, I just saw Kyle Anthony log in. So Kyle, for you.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
Look at that, Kyle. Dream of it, Kyle Anthony. Dream of it, baby.
I'm sure Kyle has now got to walk away from the camera.
Let's put him on. Kyle, what do you think?
I was going to say, I'm sure he's got to walk away. He needs a minute. He needs a minute, Prez. Don't set him up like that.
57's never looked so good. Look at him. Look at this guy.
Breathe, Kyle. Breathe.
I know. He's so handsome. I can't help it. He's jacked. We might have to test him for the PEDs. I don't know, man.
I'd love to be steroided up. Okay.
Yeah. Joe, we made a mistake having Kyle on with Prez because now he's just going to hit on him. Prez, we want NHL winners.
I know. I do.
You can hit on Kyle on your own time.
Dude, he's handsome as hell, Dan. Let's say it the way it is.
Yeah, but now he's got to go and do some push-ups before he comes on because he doesn't want to be showed up by the 80-year-old. So Kyle, get some more, get hydrated, brother. You're gonna need it here because the Prez is on fire, and you're on fire in the NHL, Prez. So lay it out to us. Is there any hope that Philly can steal one here?
I honestly, I don't think so, Joe. Normally you would say, okay, these are the games that they win, right? That 3-0 game. Carolina sort of takes a breath. I don't think Rob Brindamore has taken a breath in 40 years. That guy, intense, is worried about how intense Rob Brindamore is. I guarantee you he's in that dressing room at like 5:30 Eastern tonight. He's like, you get out there, you win this game. It is not going back to Carolina. We don't mess around. We go back to Carolina. They take it. Our sphincter gets tight coming back here for game 5. We lose that. Next thing you know, we're in a game 7. Don't let up. Don't you dare let up. That is a Rob Brindamore right there. And that's what's going down. In the dressing room in Philadelphia, it'll be like, okay, boys, tomorrow we got an 11 o'clock golf time. Here are the pairings. Get your locker cleaned out. We'll see you on the golf course. So that's how that's going down. I've been telling everybody since day one Carolina was going to sweep. It's a matchup situation, Joe, and we've been talking about this on the best betting show ever. Philadelphia is a poor man's version of the Carolina Hurricanes. These two teams match up beautifully from Carolina's perspective because Philadelphia is built in the same mold as Carolina. Neither of those teams have Connor McDavid or Nate McKinnon. Both of those teams are sort of, a whole bunch of quality lines, but no massive first line, no massive second line. None of them have Cale Makar on defense. None of them are rolling out, Martin Brodeur in goal. Yet the Carolina Hurricanes are just so damn good. All 4 lines, all 3 lines on defense. And Freddie Anderson, although had a horrible regular season, I mean, nobody can score on this guy. Carolina is winning tonight. And Andrew Woj. Hey, Woj, lots of love, my brother. Are we getting a Hurricanes Avalanche Cup final? Yes, we are. With that said, Vegas can muck that around. I think Vegas gets past Anaheim, and this Vegas team is peaking at the right time. They got a really, really good coach, a coach that is incredible in playoff matchups. We don't have to remember that far, but, that coach, Arthur Fonzarelli, he coached the Columbus Blue Jackets to a 4-0 sweep over the historically great Tampa Bay Lightning, who won the President's Trophy and I think set a record for most W's in history. So do I think it's going to be Canes Avs? Yes. I with that said, I think Vegas is the only team that could get in the way of that. Speaking of Carolina and Minnesota, Joe, look, I got to look at the under in this game. You know, we spoke about the under in game 2, and it did go over 5-2, but that game was a stone cold under. It was 3-1 with 4 minutes to go in the game. And there was a goal with 4 seconds left to take it over the total. This Colorado team is super hard to score against, and Minnesota knows they're not going to win a 5-4 game. If Minnesota wins, and they need to, it's going to be 2-1, 3-2. So I would look to take Carolina in regulation, and the money is pouring in on Carolina right now. I want to just out of love for Gianni, that's 17 Carolina and rotation number 19 and 20 for the under. With that said, Gianni's unbelievable. It took a long time, but I finally passed him. Gianni is the number 2 most profitable handicapper at WagerTalk in the last 30 days.
Oh,
I'm number 1.
Impressive. That whole soliloquy there was impressive. Let me ask you this, Prez, because SFN9R wants to know who's higher, me or the Prez, and I can assure you it is not me.
Well,
I'm not
high. Dude, I just woke up. Give me so my day is easy. I'm going to do the show. I'm going to go to the gym where I'm doing a 2.5-hour workout because I saw Kyle Anthony. And then I'm going to get high. So, and then I'm going out for dinner. So I'm hours away, bro. Hours away.
Let's go. I think VP Bride 1 has a great new slogan for you as well there, Prez. You should be sponsored by Chevy because you're hard as a rock, my man. How's that, huh? Should we?
Yeah.
I think we should get some T-shirts.
That could go in many different directions.
A lot of different directions.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of different.
We're going to just sort of leave it at that. But is that Chevy's? I got the Chevrolet font.
Oh, that's a good point. Look at that. Yeah, that washes off though, Prez. After you'll be all right.
You know.
Is that a real? Is that a real tattoo? Oh, okay.
Guys, if you have not watched the best betting show ever, why? And on top of that, we released the video. Me, Joe Raineri, and Art the Caesar. We formed a band. We're called the Three Sharps. Yep. Joe's a talented singer. He sings in female. Yeah. And we released a video. I really think you guys should check it out. It's called One Woman Guy. It's about Art the Caesar, and it's a freaking masterpiece. Do we play it? Do we play it? I don't think Kyle has seen it. Do we play it?
I'm going to play 1 minute of it for you here. There you go. Okay.
Is there volume? Where's the volume?
Yeah, I'm not getting the volume either, but here's what I'll do, Prez. I'll download it.
Here's what I'll do.
I'll download it, and at the end of the show, we will play it in its entirety to play the sound. How does that sound?
There you go.
Play it in its entirety. I'll get it ready to go for the folks.
Yeah. Perfect.
And just to let everyone know, we are releasing the Three Sharps will be releasing another video in the next 14 days, Joe?
Monday.
It's
Monday. Yes, it's Brian Power. Brian Power joins us on Mondays on the show, Prez, and Brian Power is releasing a song, and it's very. I think it's spot on from what I'm understanding. It's called Dumpster Fire.
Yeah.
So it should be definitely want to tune in on Monday for the best betting show ever. That's for sure.
Yeah. What a lineup you've got, dude. Me, Gianni, Kyle, Teddy.
Yep.
Yeah. 5 white males talking sports betting.
Yes.
Excellent. But it's a privilege to follow Gianni. Honestly, how good is that guy? Like, seriously, Joe. It's ridiculous.
We all love VR. But what do you have at WagerTalk today here now? So, folks, if they head over to your page, are you locked on in the NHL, NBA? What do you got rolling?
I got 1 NHL total bet. I'm going for 13 in a row. I got 1 NBA bet. My bet in the NBA is on the OKC Laker game, and I have a baseball total, and I'm 11-4 on the season in MLB totals. Anyway, dude, I love doing this show. And Joe, thank you for hosting. It was great just to see people, Kyle and Dan and Gianni. So much love for everybody. Oh, wait, do we have the video ready to go right now?
I have no idea.
It's ready for you, Prez, but people have to wait around.
Do it.
They have to,
let's do it.
No, they gotta wait. We got shit to do, Prez.
Yes.
We got shit to do. But I always appreciate your candor, Prez.
Yes. Plus,
Thank
we had
you
to
for
get
having
Art
me
to
on,
sign
guys.
off on it. So
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on.
Get out of here, Prez. Get out of here. And
I'm
now
gonna see you do it every day, Joe. That's impressive stuff. Reining in the beast that is Prez.
It block. What does that block? The listen.
You got a new song coming.
You got a new song. It's coming. It is a new song. Hard as a Rock will be available here in the next couple of weeks on the best betting show ever. Just saying. And by the way, if you guys have any more suggestions, drop them in, and we'll get them all done. See what we can come up with for you. In the meantime, I believe, Dan, we had some sort of scheduling conflict here, but Teddy Covers will not be here today.
I think he saw that Prez was on, and he said, "You know what? We'll just handle Prez." But yes, KIV, our fearless leader, she a little bit tied up right now, so she sent us the schedule from like 3 weeks ago, Joe. But don't worry. We still have UFC winners coming from Kyle Anthony, but Teddy, you'll have to check out his videos by subscribing at the channel. He will not be joining us today.
All right, I'll do a quick, like we do on the show, a quick rundown here of both of these NBA games. The first game coming up with the Cavs for you guys. 2 words: James Harden. Good luck. The second game is going to be, I think, also very interesting. You have JJ Redick and the entire Laker organization bitching and moaning and screaming and yelling that the OKC Thunder might get a little favoritism with the whistles and with SGP. And, of course, LeBron does nothing but get mugged in the paint every game, and he can't get a whistle. So I'm wondering what that is going to be like tonight in L.A. Should we have any idea or any thoughts that the Lakers are actually going to steal one at home? Absolutely not. This has likely got sweep written all over it. But I do think maybe first quarter, first half in both of these games where the home teams are down 0-2, I think that might not be a bad way to look here, because if they ain't winning early, if they ain't coming out swinging, it's going to be very hard for these teams to play uphill here. Lakers have done they did a great job last game, hanging in there. They just ran out of gas late, and that was the end of that. But they are getting, I think, 8.5 now, full game. Can't trust the Lakers full game to cover anything. Very hard to trust James Harden and this current Cleveland Cavaliers team full game, even though now they're laying 5. I'm starting to see 4.5, 5. I'd rather split both of those games in half. And I would look to the first half, because if Cleveland's going to get it done, they got to get it done early at home, and so do the Lakers. So get as many points in the first half. That would be my suggestion in both of those games. In fact, I do have a play locked and loaded over at WagerTalk, and I've got 2 Major League Baseball plays locked in on the slate here tonight. So head over to WagerTalk.com. Check those out, guys. But nothing says huge night of UFC like Newark, New Jersey. Boy, is this going to be fun here. Let's bring him in. Our man, Kyle Anthony. Have you recovered from the Prez flexing? Are you all right now?
Yes. I was like, I had everything recorded. I was ready to record his song. I needed to play it. It's going to hype me up tonight. It's going to catch that 5%. So when Dan does that, I'll be locked and loaded. I'll be ready to go to listen.
I was good. We were a little worried about you, but I'm glad you've recovered, man. You got the second win. You got up before the bell. Now you're here, ready to roll. What do we know about this? Give us an overview of UFC 328. We'll dive into a couple of the matches that you like, but what are we looking at here right now in this card?
Yeah, this is one where I actually will be attending this event also. I'll be there. And also, this is going to be the first event that my 13-year-old son is going to be attending. Wow. So he is absolutely fired up. So there's a little bit more going into this when he is really excited about it. So I'm excited to, see how he really absorbs all of this. But as a card, this is a really great card. You got 2 title fights, 2 really intriguing title fights, a lot of good betting opportunities here, some nice dogs that I do like as well. And it's honestly a stacked card from top to bottom. I don't really think there's many weak fights in this card here. So it's exciting. It's a big one. And yes, it's in Newark, New Jersey, but it's close to me. So it's amazing. I love it.
Dude, if it's there, you gotta go. That should be awesome, though. The kid finally gets to go to a UFC, and who better to see than Strickland? Oh my goodness! Put the earmuffs on. What do we get from Strickland in this fight? If we're being honest here, does he stay on his feet? Is that the best shot he's got? What are we looking at?
Yeah, that's obviously anyone who's breaking this down. That is the big question: is can he stay on the feet? And his last fight against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez was kind of a somewhat similar, somewhat stylistic matchup. A guy who's going to wrestle, a guy who's going to push the pace, guys who's going to push that wrestling pace consistently throughout the fight. And Strickland did really well in that fight. He outlanded him 110 to 55 significant strikes, knocked him out in the 3rd round. Now, the one thing about that, the takeaway of that, is the fact that Fluffy didn't really shoot takedowns. This guy, over his 3 prior fights, shot 49 takedowns. He shot 1 takedown over 3 rounds against Strickland. So there's rumors that he was hurt. So all of those things. But the big thing and the big difference here between, Fluffy and Chimaev, and really where Chimaev really excels, is he has the most elite level wrestling in the sport right now. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And then on top of that, you've got a guy who has incredible physicality. Those are things that Hernandez does not have. And, it's going to be tough for really, Strickland to kind of get anything really going, because really he wants to be on the feet. He wants to push the volume. He wants to push that pace. And maybe early he can, weather that storm, and then later on kind of find a way to start picking up the pace a little bit here. But he's got a nice jab, a good teep kick, some good striking. But overall, I don't think striking is going to matter here. I think Chimaev gets him down. I don't think he's going to be scared of any kind of power that's coming his way. I think he can keep pushing forward, look for those takedowns. And also the big thing here is that, Strickland's a guy who I think is going to get very frustrated once these takedowns start coming. I think he's going to probably do some risky moves, getting back to his feet, giving up his back, allowing Chimaev to get on his back. So I think the submission is absolutely live here. I love the submission here. You're getting off the minus 500 number. You've got Chimaev, who is going to be pushing that pace, and that is his method of victory here. I can't see this going 5 rounds. So I think that Chimaev at plus 110 is a nice spot, and I think that Strickland's in a lot of trouble in this spot.
We thinking under 2.5? What are we thinking? The longer it goes, if it goes over 2.5, who does it favor?
Absolutely, it favors Strickland. I mean, there's definitely no doubt about it. So I think under 2.5, I like that here, because I think that early, that's really where Chimaev is just an absolute monster. He pushes forward, he goes forward. So if this fight goes, further above 2.5, 3 rounds, Strickland has a chance. Maybe not the biggest chance, but he is a cardio machine. And we know that Chimaev has definitely struggled in that area. So that's really the only known weakness for Chimaev is going to be his cardio. So he's got to have to sprawl, brawl, and really kind of push us into the 3rd, 4th rounds.
Well, you got that, and that should be a fun one. Anytime you get to see Strickland win or lose should be at least an entertaining and worth the price of admission in Newark for sure. You got another, I believe, a welterweight prelim fight as well, right? Alvarez fighting here. What are you thinking with this one?
Yeah, so I've got between Amosov and Alvarez here. You've got Amosov, he's around that minus 185 mark. You've got Alvarez plus 155. And the thing about Amosov is that he's coming in with that shiny record, 29-1, looks great, champion in other organizations, lower organizations, and, had the nice win in his debut against an aging Neil Magny. And the difference for me here is that Amosov is a guy that really likes to, he's going to wrestle. He's going to push that pace. He's going to, look for the takedowns, top control, all of those things. But the thing here is that Alvarez is absolutely elite off of his back. And that's where this thing can get very interesting here, because he's very opportunistic with this submission game. Out of his 23 victories, 17 come by submission. So Amosov, I'm not that high on him. I think his striking is kind of basic. He does have good wrestling. He does have some good grappling, but I think Alvarez is actually the better guy here. And plus you've got the fact that Amosov, this is a step up in competition for Amosov, I think by far. And he's the minus 200 favorite here in this spot. And Alvarez has faced the higher competition. has beaten UFC caliber guys. He's far better on the feet, far more explosive. And I just think Amosov is not going to be able to lay on him for 3 rounds, keep position. I think anytime they're on the ground, you're going to see that Alvarez is going to have that opportunity to sink something in. He's got a great front choke series. He's going to be threatening. So that puts Amosov in a very weird situation where if he goes on the ground, he's going into the strength of Alvarez. If he stays on the feet, he's the lesser striker. So I think that this is an opportunity really where I think Alvarez should be a slight favorite here. I think plus 155 is a great number. And also a sprinkle on inside the distance for Alvarez is around like plus 250, 270, somewhere around there. I like that because most of his fights, if he wins, are inside the distance. So give me Alvarez here. I'm not very high on Amosov, and we'll see how that goes down.
Guys, Kyle is on a ridiculous 18-4 UFC run right now. So when he's throwing out plus money plays like this, just saying, might be worth writing it down here. And of course, the rest of his card locked and loaded at his page. We'll get to that. But I've got to ask, because anytime you have a dude named Salsa Boy and this other monster Volkov, but am I crazy, or does it look like everyone seems to think this one is going the distance?
Yeah.
How is this going the distance? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think whoever wins this is getting knocked out, and we are seeing money come in on Waldo, and I'm not that high on Waldo. I really am not. I think he's got, he's had some good matchups. One fight he was knocked out, but it was an eye poke, came back, knocked the guy out. Like, there's been some weird situations. Volkov could be on like an 8-0 run. He had that suspect loss that he did have, and I just think that he is the bigger, better striker between these two. Waldo does have the faster hands, but I think that he can chop at the legs. He can work. He can look for takedowns. I think that's something that I think is going to be there. I think people are really kind of thinking this is going to be a full-on striking match. I think that Volkov is going to look for takedowns, and I think he's going to find a lot of success doing that. So the money, it's come in now. I think it's come in. I think it was like minus 190, whatever it is. Now it's, some books have him, minus 140, 145 for Volkov. But I think this is going to be a Volkov spot, and I do think whoever does win, it's going to be inside the distance.
All right, I got to ask you one more because you and I have talked about this over the years. Like, why are we rolling out 43-year-old dudes to fight on a? I get Miller is from Jersey. Like, do you have nobody else available besides a 43-year-old dude who has fought, 46 fights? And I mean, what are we doing here, man? There's no way he wins this, right? Just under, give me the under and ends inside the first round. Like, what are we doing?
This is one actually that I like Gordon here. I think that Gordon had a really bad fight in his last fight just because he came out, which is crazy that he got hit by a car the day before. So he came in with an injury, which is pretty crazy for Gordon. But this is a spot, like you're saying. I mean, Jim Miller is just a guy from New Jersey at this point, and I don't really see much that he's going to be able to do. He was a part of UFC 200, UFC 300. Now he's a part of UFC, 328. I mean, this guy is he's just taking paychecks. His paycheck is very large for each appearance. So we'll see what happens. But I do like Gordon here. I think Gordon by decision is going to be the spot here. I think that he's got, not the power, but he can, I think Jim Miller, who's very hard to finish, I think that Gordon could just pitter-patter shots, keep it on the feet, win on the judges' scorecards, and that's around plus 105, somewhere around there. So I like that here. I don't think actually a finish happens. I think this goes to the cards.
I love it. All right, there you go. Not to mention, you're locked for this card. You have been all week long. An 18-4 run, absolutely crazy, man. What do you got tonight for the folks over on your page of WagerTalk?
Yeah, so I do have a 5% loaded. We're on a nice 5-1 run on our top selections. As you said, over the last 4 or 5 weeks, out of the last 5 weeks, 4 of them we have cashed. 3 of those we swept the board. We're coming off of a 5-0 sweep, 10 units of profit last weekend. And that's the one thing that I kind of tell, I'm kind of repetitive with this is there are opportunities to bet money on UFC week after week. It doesn't have to be the biggest event. It doesn't have to be the ones that everybody likes to tune into. There's opportunities, whether it's an Apex card, may not be the flashy, exciting card, but there's opportunities to make money. We crushed it last week on a smaller card. Here's a bigger card. We're going to crush it too. I've got a 5% in, and I've got 4 plays in total, and we'll be probably adding another play before fight night starts. So excited about it. I'll be there, and I'm ready to see these winners in person.
Gotta love it, man. All right, enjoy it with the kid, man. A little family affair here tonight for you, Kyle. Make sure you grab his 5% over at WagerTalk.com. We appreciate it as always, brother. Appreciate Gianni. Don't forget, Steam Room coming up top of the hour, guys. You can jump in with Gianni, get that all situated and squared away, hear what he's got to say. And, of course, want to thank the Prez Red Hot. Make sure you head over to his page at WagerTalk.com and pick up those plays as well. Wow. Been a while here, Dan. Last call, but it's good to be back in the saddle again. And as promised, we do have our very first release. You have that ready, Dan, before we scare everybody off that's remaining?
We got it good to go here, Joe. So, hey, as you mentioned, folks got to check it out, though. The best betting show ever. Every weekday, check for it on the channel here. Subscribe. We appreciate it. But yes, no further ado, as it was debuted.
No, wait. Before you do that, though.
What do you got?
We do have a big promo, do we not, going on?
Yeah. We can let folks know about this. So over at our sister site, picksandparlays.net, that's where you can head on over and check this one out. So this is, folks, if you never bought before, this is a great way to try. We got guys like Brian Power over there, Jesse Schul, Brian Burns. So you can head over to picksandparlays.net, use code BUCK at the checkout, and then boom, first daily picks package this weekend, any choice. Use that code BUCK, and then boom, you're going to get it for $1. So that's our sister site over there. You mentioned all the great deals we have at WagerTalk.com, over at picksandparlays.net. Use this code BUCK. Boom, $1, Joe. Hard to beat that price. I literally don't think the system allows them to put it any lower. So there you go. Use code BUCK, picksandparlays.net. And appreciate it, man. Thank you for filling in hosting. I greatly appreciate it. And you did a terrific job as always. So without any further ado, man, let's give these folks what they came for. All right. Thanks, Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from Las Vegas, the one and only one-woman guy. Take it to the next window because I'm a one-woman guy. I'm a one-woman guy. One-woman guy. I'm a one-woman guy. They say art, don't break my heart. And I say I'm not gonna break your heart. I'm gonna break your wallet, baby, because I'm a window because I'm a one-woman guy. I'm a one-woman guy. One-woman guy. I'm a one-woman They say art, don't break my heart. And I say I'm not gonna break your heart. I'm gonna break your wallet, baby, because I'm a one-woman guy. You better take it to the next window because I'm a one-woman guy.